Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new stream here on the channel. On today's stream, I will be talking about Bitcoin and a potential very huge breakdown we're right now having on the loop here. So guys, make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. But yeah, Bitcoin is definitely in some danger right now here. We are currently looking at the 6-hour time frame. And I want to adjust this pattern we're currently forming, right? So Bitcoin, of course, from the from high to low, currently is forming a pretty dangerous pattern, and I'm currently adjusting it ever so slightly here. But this pattern is, of course, a rising wedge pattern. This is, of course, more kind of a typical bearish bias pattern. So I really want to be adjusting this right now with you guys out there on the channel. And let me do some checkups if we are in fact live. Yeah, we are live right now here. So this is, of course, absolutely amazing. So yeah. Right now, we're looking towards this pattern over here. It could be, of course, potentially form that breakdown from off this region we're currently talking about. Yes, there are some other levels to still look at for support. We are currently trading on some cross support levels. What I really want to be pointing out right now. So if you're looking to look at this level here, yeah, you can clearly talk about also support that's currently meeting this resistance range over here. Previous resistance, like you can see over here, right now is still flipping into support. So that is still holding on Bitcoin. But of course, the thing that I want to be pointing out here is that if the next candle is going to be closing below this range over here, if this candle is going to be closing below the range over here, it is definitely going to start to look very dangerous for Bitcoin. Because, yeah, a price target in this case of a rising wedge is going to be, in this case, the 25.3K. Do I really think we're going to necessarily reach it? I don't know. I actually definitely don't know. I will be not trade the market towards the downside right now here. Because, yeah, I don't really like shorting. And especially, I don't really like shorting once we already saw that significant correction, right? Because what I'm here trying to do is really catch the more larger moves in this market. So, yeah, this is definitely a little bit more of a worse thing to see in the market. But to be honest, why is Bitcoin coming down? We want to be answering that question. It's very simple. Once again, it's the S&P 500 that right now is also seeing that corrective way towards the downside right here, right? So S&P 500 coming down after yesterday breaking our downtrend. So actually we are still looking a little bit more stronger, right? Since we formed that downtrend over here, we broke this parallel channel that we create towards the upside, towards the downside. We continue towards the upside. Right now we're going to be waiting for that next continuation up. So actually, I am still very bullish on the S&P 500, so for me it would not make a lot of sense to be extremely bearish on Bitcoin. However, I do want to be pointing out these things that are currently happening in this market, right? So as well, together with this level, resistance, 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 resistance. Here we flipped it into support, then we came down. We unfortunately have not seen a successful retest, so Bitcoin came down again, not successfully bounced from this previous resistance range that should have been supposed to flip into support in a healthy trend here. But like you can see, it clearly didn't react strong enough towards this level. We fell down below it, then we increased again, and we of course once again got rejected by this range. So this is actually pretty worse, you can say. This is actually pretty terrible for Bitcoin, what we're currently seeing. We're definitely seeing a lot of weakness across the chart right now here. And this is, of course, not a thing that you would like to see in a market like this, right? You want to be seeing that bullish breakout that we had on the market over here. You want to be seeing a strong continuation towards the upside from that point. But unfortunately, we rolled over towards the downside. And right now, we're once again forming, same rejection from the previous resistance range. And together with that, on top of that, even that, we are currently once again forming a lower low on the market. So this is definitely breaking a lot of trends right now. We were forming before in the market, and we're right now, basically breaking these potential minor uptrends we were creating on this market, right? So Bitcoin definitely showing a lot of weakness, and together with this 6-hour pattern, right, and once again coming down towards its support, I need to see Bitcoin holding on towards the support range, because if we don't, we are definitely going to be having some more troubles basically come towards the way of Bitcoin. Also looking at the daily time frame for Bitcoin again, guys. I mean, first of all, weekly time frame, guys. Look at this big wick on the top side. We do not really look to be having an extremely big strong candle anymore in the weekly time frame. So it's going to be interesting on how it's going to be playing out. But for me to really base my thoughts on that weekly candle close, I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500. Is the S&P still going to be closing so strongly in towards next week here? Yeah, we could be expecting Bitcoin is going to follow. If not, Bitcoin will be probably not following. But yeah, looking at the daily time frame for Bitcoin right now here, yeah, there are some things we can definitely argue about here. Daily time frame, of course, maybe potentially could go for another retest, and this case is going to be the $29,000 while we're right now falling below it, guys. 29.4K actually. So Bitcoin is indeed having a pretty tough time here, and of course, if we're going to come down, I want to be seeing another bounce from 29K. Hopefully we could hold on towards that level. Also looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we can currently see We can currently see that the Bitcoin dominance is even spiking further on here, 47%. If we're going to really overlay the Bitcoin price action over the Bitcoin dominance chart, yeah, you can definitely make some arguments about what we're currently seeing. Basically, historically speaking, once Bitcoin is in a low here, yeah, the dominance tends to be bouncing, and I really like to be doing it on a different approach. So I will show you guys that chart in a moment from now on. But yeah, you can clearly see Bitcoin dominance broke bullish, and of course, so far our prediction we made here on the channel is playing out actually perfectly, because yeah, we have been predicting that the dominance is going to increase, and that the altcoin dominance most importantly broke its very strong uptrend, and that we're aiming for a 48% target for altcoins to go towards in terms of the dominance in the market. And as soon as the altcoins reach the 48% here in the total market capitalization, I personally want to be go a little bit more aggressive on altcoins again here. But like you can see so far, it is not smart to go aggressive on altcoins right here, and I personally think there's absolutely more downside for altcoins in general. And even though let's say Bitcoin is going to create that bounce, what I do think it's inevitable, that Bitcoin bounce. If Bitcoin is going to be bouncing, just like the last rally towards the upside over here, I personally think that Bitcoin dominance is going to increase as well. I don't really think that altcoins are going to join so strongly towards the upside while Bitcoin is bouncing in this case. So yeah, a lot of interesting things. Like you can see, I also pointed out here that DXY is currently moving up a little bit here. Once again, unfortunate to see what we're currently having here. Dollar index, of course, formed that left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and currently, yeah, we're still in this more bearish buyers pattern on the market. So this is, of course, still pretty interesting to see. Left shoulder, head getting formed, right shoulder. So we're still in a bearish buyers pattern for the dollar index. And that could be, once again, eventually result in more bullishness to come towards equity markets. Also, a very interesting thing to see right now is that the Bitcoin shorts are once again increasing, and usually once the shorts increase, this is of course also causing that extra sell pressure to enter the market, right? And also before that huge crash we got in May, we also saw of course many shorting positions enter the market, and this is of course, generally speaking, of course definitely a little bit more of a bearish buy signal in the market, right? So shorts increasing, not a good thing to see here. In the case of the Bitcoin longs here, you can see also that the bitfinex whales don't care. They're still adding more towards their Bitcoin long positions right now in this case. So it is definitely going to be very interesting to see where this is exactly getting towards and where it is exactly going towards right now, because yeah, if these bitfinex bulls keep on adding more towards their long positions, where are they heading towards? That is going to be the big question, right? You can clearly see big spike still across this market, and if we're going to be putting Bitcoin on top of it and put Bitcoin on the logarithmic scale here, and let me place this on auto like this, you can see clearly bitfinex bulls are basically playing the same game as Bitcoin. If Bitcoin comes down here, these bulls accumulate more in their long positions. So historically speaking, if these long positions are very high, it means that Bitcoin is inevitably going to be forming that bounce. So do I still think there's going to be a huge bounce across the markets? Yes, I do think so. But maybe it could take a little bit longer. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that is going to be playing out here. But like you can see over here, Bitcoin is indeed falling pretty hard. So let me zoom in towards the 1 hour time frame to see what we could be expecting on Bitcoin right now. And let me go towards the right chart I want to be using for that. That is not this chart. That is also not this chart. Yeah, I want to be talking about this chart. So yeah, like you can see, Bitcoin of course came up all the way towards our resistance range here, where we have been talking about. Like you can see here, rejection, and I also tweeted about it already. This is the level to be breaking above, and in this case we didn't broke above it, and that is of course definitely a little bit more unfortunate to see here in this case. So Bitcoin once again creating another continuation down here, and yeah, the losses keep on getting realized, guys. Do know that. I mean, yeah, maybe in the imminent short term Bitcoin is bearish, maybe Bitcoin is not looking or forming the most beautiful pattern, or maybe the 1 hour close on Bitcoin is not so good here. And I mean, actually, this 1 hour close over here is very bad, because we're officially confirming the trend break here of a trend continuation towards the downside. That is currently what we're literally doing. But even though everything is right now playing out here on the imminent short term very bearishly for Bitcoin, it doesn't really change up my mind here on the larger time frames, right? So if I'm really going to do my analysis on Bitcoin, if I'm going to look for the addresses holding more than 10k Bitcoins in their account, you can clearly see over here, they have been still accumulating. These are the large entity players that are still entering the market. As well, at the same time, we can see the number of addresses holding more than 1 Bitcoin. Also, these are the entities that have been really accumulating massively and very aggressively as well. So at some point, there is going to be that point that the sell pressure is going to run out here. Whether that point is already achieved, we don't know. It looks to be that we're not have been achieving that level yet here. There could be more pain come towards the market. And also, really, do I think the next pain has been already dealt on this market? Yes, I personally think the maximum pain is already got hit on the cryptocurrency market. Why am I saying so? If I just purely look at the 7-day simple moving average and look at the realized loss in the market, you can see that, of course, as the market continues to grow here, the losses are also bigger because the market capitalization is bigger. But you can clearly see also, always once people sell their Bitcoin against a loss here, it has been historically a very good range for accumulating your Bitcoins at. So right now, once again, we've been seeing a massive spike across the markets where many investors are selling their Bitcoins against a loss here. I don't really understand why many people are doing so. Of course, maybe they have to be paying some bills or whatsoever. But indeed, people are afraid about what currently is exactly going to be happening with Bitcoin, and that is why many people are selling literally against a loss right now here. And is this a smart choice? Yeah, I guess we will be finding out in a couple months from now on. Personally, I do think it's not a smart choice to sell off your Bitcoin right now. I'm also still aiming actually for a very positive end of this year. I personally think that Q4 is going to be the month where we have to be waiting for. Of course, Q3 is probably going to be good as well, but probably the coming 2 months are going to be very boring for Bitcoin. Why? It's because right now we are just in markets where there's not a lot of movement, and of course usually the summers are well known for no high volume moves here, because basically the big investors are always stepping away in the summer. So yeah, let's see how it is going to be playing out. But in this case, we formed a lower low here on the 1 hour time frame. However, we have not confirmed it yet here. We could be forming a bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame right now. Of course, a bullish divergence occurs once the market is forming a lower low and the RSI is forming a higher low. So that could be, of course, a possibility to play out here. And in order to see this, and if we are once again going to be seeing this bullish divergence play out in the market, it is going to be very positive for Bitcoin, because it does make a lot of sense actually, guys, to see a bounce in the market. If we're going to take in consideration this level we're currently looking at, guys, if you're accumulating right now, you're also actually accumulating at a very strong level of support, right? So you can see not once, not twice, not 3 times, no, even 4 times we have been right now testing this level. And actually, if you are accumulating your Bitcoin positions on this level we're currently talking about, you are accumulating at a pretty strong level, if you would ask me here. You're accumulating at a pretty strong level, and this could be, of course, result in a very strong bounce. Like you can see, we have that upward sloping support line, but also that downward sloping resistance line, right? So downward sloping resistance line also potentially coming together with this, potentially it is coming together with this downward sloping support line right now. So 2 support lines coming together at once, and together with taking in consideration everything that is currently happening in the macro environment, and also looking at the S&P 500 is going to be opening in 30 minutes from now on right now, guys. So considering the S&P 500, yeah, let me call, because the direction we've been calling on the S&P, we're pretty strong here so far. But yeah, really looking at this, we are actually still pretty bullish on the S&P 500, only we're seeing a minor correction wave down here. So this could be still also flipping towards the green near the end of the day, and that could be once again potentially how Bitcoin to come up again here. So we just have to be waiting to see how it's going to be playing out here. But personally, I am not too worried actually right now. I am not too worried about Bitcoin. Only the case where I will be really start to be worrying about Bitcoin is the case where Bitcoin is going to close a 6-hour candle below this level over here. If that happens, yeah, we are definitely screwed, and Bitcoin could definitely come down further on. Can I buy Solana? I would definitely not touch Solana. Why? Is because I personally think this project is not all too good here. The 200 week, yeah, a lot of people are always talking about the 200 week moving average. And guys, if everyone talks about one certain level, we usually tend to not reach it. So, yeah, can it happen that we're going to touch it? Yes, it could be happening. But guys, I personally think it can also take a very, very well here. I personally have been talking about basically this here. I personally think that Bitcoin is in, of course, right now a longer term consolidation phase. And I personally expect that Bitcoin is going to be maybe trade sideways for the coming 2 to 3 months here. So in case we're going to trade sideways for the coming 2 to 3 months, the 200 weekly moving average is also going to creep up very slowly, right? Just like this. So potentially the bottom, we're going to touch the 200 weekly moving average at 25k. Also the point that we also formed the previous low on. So yeah, I personally think, yeah, can we touch it? Of course it can happen. Will it happen eventually? Yeah, Bitcoin will be eventually touch the 200 weekly moving average. But will it be a scenario where I will be going all in on? I will not buy any Bitcoin until we hit the 200 weekly moving average. No, I won't. I know there's a lot of supply waiting to enter the market if we are going to touch the 200 weekly moving average, because everyone literally wants to get in at that point. And maybe we're just going to stop out a little bit earlier and don't get everyone to the exact perfect entry, because that is really the will games, guys. They don't want you to get you the perfect entry, but what they do want is for you to sell against a loss and for you to sell cheap, right? Solana is trash, just like Luna 3.0. I mean, I've been already explaining in several streams before about what I think about Solana, and even, oh guys, what the fuck, what happened with my camera? Excuse me. And I already told you guys as well about what I exactly thought about Solana even before the network got halted. It is a shitty project. I mean, it's not a shitty project, but it is not a project I would like to invest a lot of my savings in towards. And I've been warning you guys as well once it was trading at $300, and still I will be giving you guys that warning shot. You can clearly see Solana is now right now down 7%, while Bitcoin is down 1.2%, and Ethereum down 3.8%. Everything is taking such a big of a hit here. If Bitcoin is falling, you can see many of these altcoins are falling. And once again, there is one altcoin standing out of it. It is BNB. Once again, just look at the average losses in the past 19 days and compare it to Bitcoin. BNB has been performing so much better compared to Bitcoin in the past 90 days. Also, in the past 60 days, it has been performing better. Also, in the past 30 days. But right now, only a thing that is not doing well here is today. It's losing 0.8% more than Bitcoin today. But I've been warning you guys. I've been talking about this several times before. I'm personally a huge fan of BNB. If you're willing to be investing your money in Solana, do first your research, and probably you should not invest in Solana, in my opinion. Of course, there is a lot of money potentially to be made here, but personally, I would rather allocate my money towards BNB because I'm having way more certainty in actually making a very good return on my investment. Too many people can't afford the interest pay. True. This is a big test for Bitcoin, the teenage asset. Yeah, indeed. This is of course indeed a very big test for Bitcoin. But like every correction, we will be eventually come out of it, and it's not going to be a question if, but a question when we're going to come out of it. And I am very clear aware, and I've been pointing this out as well, guys. I'm very aware that this consolidation and this downtrend we're currently in here could potentially take another few months here. It could be potentially take another 2 to 3 months here before Bitcoin is really actually going to be start reversing. I mean, if we're going to be looking back here, we do know that Bitcoin currently is in its fourth largest downtrend ever seen before. You can currently see here Bitcoin is in a 205-day downtrend. That's an absolutely crazy downtrend Bitcoin has been trading in. A very long one so far. So pretty interesting. We have not seen all-time highs since 205 days. Last time around, we have not seen all-time highs for an approximately, let me see how long it took. It took us 184 days before seeing new all-time highs again. So this was definitely a different phase here in the market. It went also by way quicker. This is taking way much longer. And that is also why the Google Trends, you can clearly see it, why Google Trends is currently telling us there is not a lot of interest in cryptocurrencies. The cryptocurrency interest is just it is just low. Cryptocurrencies, let me see. It is just terrible low. It's just terrible. This is the past 5 years. Look at this. This is crazy. But look at the past, let's say, oh wait, I'm just having it in the Netherlands. That's why it's so terrible. Worldwide. So like you can see here, it's absolutely terrible in the past, let's say, 5 year. Look at this. This was the spike in 2017. Spike here in May 2021, the massive correction, I should say. And right now, we are having that massive loss of interest once again come towards the market, just like the bear market. It takes very long, but that is the time to be paying attention. And that is a thing I want to be trying to point out the whole time. A nasty bearish hammer forming on the weekly candle. Could be, we could do it with a decent bounce between now and Saturday night. So yeah, I've been looking at the weekly time frame candle before in the beginning of the stream, but this is indeed a very nasty inverse hammer candle. Of course, we've been forming these several times before. In the end of the day, does it tell us so much on the weekly time frame? Yes, it does clearly tell us a lot here, because in the end of the day, I mean, we went up and down again. But Monday Green, I know you're watching for a very long time here. And Monday Green, you will be probably watch the stream once again if we are having 2,000 viewers once there's a massive run up again here, because People just like to join streams. People just like to be paying attention once the market is green and not once the market is red. So yeah, these are definitely very interesting times in the market. But this, yeah, could be, of course, be a potential very nasty green candle that we're currently forming here. And this could be, of course, having a, yeah, pretty bad effect here on the market, right? So we're not going to judge about the candle until it's closed. And actually right now, let it close red here, because then we're closing 10 weekly candles in a row red here. That will even be better than close it in the green right now here, because yeah, we are already on a very cool streak. So let's continue it. Okay, take a look at Helium. We'll be doing so in a second from now on. But yeah, more importantly, guys, Bitcoin can actually still go either direction, because if we're really going to compare, and if we're really making good predictions for Bitcoin over the course of the weekend, we always have to be looking at one thing, and that is how the S&P is going to close. So if the S&P is going to be pumping in towards this week here, and Bitcoin is not really following through here, I personally expect, once again, like last week, we're going to get a pump in towards the week, in towards the weekly close. If not, in case the S&P is going to dump in towards today, and Bitcoin is not going to follow on the dump, but I don't expect, actually, because if it happens, Bitcoin will probably follow very quickly. This could be, of course, result in a very significant drop across the weekend. So it's really depending on how the S&P is going to perform over the course of the weekend. So let me quickly check up on Helium. Helium, of course. I mean, guys, I should be so careful with these coins. It's just so obvious these coins are going to have a very hard period of time. And you can see I was looking at Helium all the way back in March 2021 here. But yeah, Helium, what do I really think about it? It's screwed. It is absolutely screwed. And this is what bear markets does. Bear markets absolutely obliterate altcoins. That is always. I mean, this is, of course, the reason why many people lose valuation in crypto, is because they're going all in on certain altcoins. And I mean, altcoins, you know how it is built. In bear markets, you have some good altcoin projects that are rolling out and that actually are like going to give you 100x's, but there are also some altcoins that roll out in the middle of a period where hype is getting created in the market, and they're lifting off the hype, and then they go up very quickly, and they also come down very quickly. And Helium, of course, it is not a bad project, but of course you have these Helium miners. It was a little bit of an overhyped thing on social media, and of course a lot of like TikTok influencers were talking about Helium, and that already tells you enough, I think, because if TikTok influencers are going to talk about something, and I'm not into TikTok, I am very shit on that platform. I don't know how to use it, and I never have really actually used that platform, but I've just seen so many of my friends talking about it who actually did use that platform, and they also told me, what do you know about Helium mining? And for me, it was pretty big of a bubble, of course, like you can see. The bubble is bursting. Should I buy it right now? I don't know. I don't like, I mean, like I told you, I'm only buying a handful of altcoins right now here, because this altcoin can literally fall another 50% from here on. It can literally fall another 50%. And am I willing to take that risk to lose another 50% of my valuation? Like, it is not going to be that hard to fall another 50% from here on. I mean, from high to low, it already fell down more than 90% probably. Yeah, 90% here. So, no. Can it fall further? Yes, probably. Is the good buy zone? I don't know. This is literally the golden question no one can answer you. Unless you are an insider, unless you work in the corporation and you do know there are going to be some insane updates rolling out, right? So only if you're an insider, you know this question. But for me, no, I'm not going to be buying this. I don't like to be catching this falling knife over here. 10 red streak candles. Something is wrong. I mean, it's also a little bit of the emotions that they're playing with, right? So the more red candle, I mean, more people are, I just clearly can see it, more people are extremely afraid, and that is, of course, the thing that they want you to be. They want you to be afraid. They want you to sell your Bitcoin against loss, and like you can see, there are many people selling their Bitcoins against a loss, and also what they want is wills, that the wills get some more room to accumulate, because yeah, in the background, guys, we can clearly see there is a lot of accumulation from wills currently going on here. We are clearly seeing that the number of Bitcoin entities holding more than 10k Bitcoin on their wallets have been increasing over the past days, right? So this is, of course, a thing to pay attention towards. Don't get missed out here. Don't get fooled out here, because this is, of course, not a smart time to be getting fooled out of this market. Well, you have maybe panicking. There are other people on the other side that are actually willing to be accumulating in towards Bitcoin right now here. They're willing to accumulate, and they are actually willing to be buying Bitcoin for 30k. And I mean, the question is, are you willing to be buying Bitcoin for 30K? Do you think it's cheap or do you think it's overvalued? That's going to be the question. That's the reason why it's going to be inevitably bouncing. I personally think that the smart money thinks it is cheap, since if you're buying right now, you're buying below the price where large institutions are buying at, like Tesla, etc. Right? So take it in consideration. The Simpsons are involved in everything. What is going on with the Simpsons? They have been predicting it, of course. Bitcoin really bouncing back here. And of course, if we do close this 1 hour candle like this, we are going to as well get a bullish divergence on this 1 hour candle. And that will be resulting in potentially a bullish continuation getting formed from here on. So that's actually pretty cool to see. Mike's Hunt is saying, I lost so much. There's no way I'm selling right now. Indeed. There's no way we're selling right now. And I mean, for me, I can't imagine selling Bitcoin below 30K. Even though I bought my first Bitcoin on enough. Yeah, actually, I bought my first Bitcoin on 8,000. But also, I bought Bitcoin on 3,800 US dollars before it absolutely exploded once again. And that got myself once again addicted. Because I also had a period in the bear market, the lowest point of the bear market, where I lost my attention. I had that period as well. And that is why I'm not doing it right now, because I learned from my mistakes. And I think everyone has the same. You had a mistake that you made in the cryptocurrency market, and you're trying to make it right again here. So I had this period, and I lost a little bit of my interest over here in the market. Always held it on here, and then approximately over here at 3,800 US dollars. I opened a Bitcoin long position. There was of course a crazy long position on bitfinex that I opened at that point. I opened a crazy Bitcoin long position. I accumulated some Bitcoin. It just kept going up and up and up. And that is actually what I would like to see here. I would like to see such kind of a pattern, right? I want to see low volatility. That is exactly what I currently want to be seeing. I want to see low volatility, very small candles, no big wicks, and just climb up for 8 weeks towards the upside like this. If we can get that, that just means there's no sell pressure anymore in the market. We distribute the sell pressure, and we're going to just skyrocket here. But unfortunately, we are just willing to wait a little bit longer. Like you can see in the initial phase of the correction, we also saw huge volatility. Then we stabilized, moved up, and then we formed that initial leg up here. Went very boring consolidation, and then we had another leg up here. So guys, prepare yourself for just massive volatility as well for Bitcoin. I mean, it will be happening eventually. Yeah, I mean, I bought Bitcoin here on $8,000. I bought Bitcoin on $12,000. I bought altcoins over there as well. I bought it over here. I bought it over here. I bought it everywhere. But you know, I hold it on. So that's why, like, this looks a very terrible zone for accumulating in hindsight, right? But in the end of the day, it was a pretty good zone. So just the message that I'm trying to be bringing out, just huddle. Because I know for sure, for everyone who's actually accumulating Bitcoin right now, below 30K, you have the chance right now, literally. No financial advice, of course, because I have to just give you the disclaimer. But for everyone who's accumulating, in my opinion, right now, if I was accumulating Bitcoin right now in this region, I can tell myself I'm so sure I will be making a profit in 4 years from now on. I'm so sure that Bitcoin is going to trade at least, 10 times as high from off this point in exactly 4 years from now on. Or at least touch 10 times as high, that level. The Simpsons also predicted Shiba as a world currency. I mean, I'm not seeing that happening. Funny to see how Helium moved the crypto market so easily last year. And now he spooked the entire stock market. Most Vienna, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing absolutely amazing. So let me quickly check up on Tesla as well. It's pretty interesting. Tesla is down massively on the pre-market. Look at this, guys. It's down, just like all stocks are basically down today again. All stocks are down, just like we can see on the S&P. I mean, Tesla is definitely it had this parabolic run up. It's of course pretty overvalued if we compare it to other car companies. And car companies, historically speaking, are not doing always that well here in recessions. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to see. And there are a lot of specialists that are right now saying that it is a good buy. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here. Apple, quickly want to be checking it up here. Apple really is seeing that strong bounce here. But Apple's also like a company, guys. They just are so big. And they will be just taking more market share as soon as the market recovers, right? So yeah, pretty interesting. US markets open in 10 minutes. Be careful. yeah, I'm actually looking forward towards it as well. The US markets, how it's going to be opening. But so far, US markets are being pretty interesting to see, right? So they are still coming down here on the, basically the pre-market is down massively on the US side. Only red. So guys, let me know, what are your predictions of the market right now here? Will Bitcoin ever hit 20k, guys? Let me know in the chat. Will Bitcoin ever hit 20k? I am very curious. Are you going to leave your motherland for a desert? I guess so. I guess so. Rover, why do the CME gap always close? No, they don't. They don't always close. There's like it's a myth, you know? Let me quickly go towards the CME chart. So there is a myth that Bitcoin always closes its CME gaps. And it's not a true myth, because it doesn't always happen. First of all, we have a CME gap above us. So on the 36k, we've got a CME gap. We've got also, let me see if we do get some CME gaps here above. No, we don't. I really stopped looking at a lot of these CME gaps because they're not really relevant. We also, I told this story to many of my OG viewers. I've got a friend. Look at this. We create a CME gap over here, and let me extend this to the right. No, the right. We've got a CME gap over here on 9.5k. And a friend of mine was willing to be buying Bitcoin. And he said to me, no, I am waiting the day after till we're going to fill up that CME gap, because we increased to 10k, 10.2k. Then the market went up and he said, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And of course, he waited the whole time here on the top side. Bitcoin fell down once again here. And he saw, we were watching together. We were trading on 9.8k, like you can see over here. And he told me, no, I'm going to wait. I set up my limit order on 9.6k because I want to get that exact bottom here of the CME gap. You know, that guy, in the end of the day, he bought Bitcoin for 40k. Is that a good buy or bad? I mean, we can argue about that the whole day, if 40k is a good buy. But he waited for buying 9.6k, and eventually it didn't happen. And he waited, and he saw the market going up to 20k. And then he saw the market trading on 20k. And you know what he said? I'm going to still wait. We've still got CME gaps over here as well. He said once again to me, I'm still going to wait. And in the end of the day, Bitcoin created, of course, that massive rally. What basically went in the history books. Because, yeah, Bitcoin, of course, absolutely crushed everyone. This is also CME gap over here. So these are some CME gaps we're currently looking for. So that's pretty interesting to look at, actually. I will be set up this CME gap again over here as well. But yeah, there are many CME gaps. And I mean, yeah, they tend to get filled, but not always have to get filled. So these are the CME gaps we're currently looking at on the market, right? Lowest CME gap we currently have is 9.6k. We've got one on 16k. We've got one on 18k. We got one on 25k. But, yeah, CME gaps tend to get filled, but don't always necessarily have to get filled. That's, of course, the thing I want to be pointing out. Also, I mean, actually, I've not seen it, actually, but we've got a CME gap over here as well. This CME gap is getting formed on the 28.7k. So, potentially, we're going to fill up this CME gap over here. If not, we will probably move up then, of course. But also, yeah, I mean, if you always think CME gaps have to get filled here, we also have one above us. So, no, I am not basing any of my opinions on the larger time frame on Bitcoin about on CME gaps. Because, yeah, if you're, let's say, creating a CME gap today, and you think, let's say today's Monday and yesterday we created a CME gap below us, yeah, then you can definitely say, okay, it's likely to fall on the Monday. But if it's already like a year or 3 years behind us, it's not likely to purely anticipate it. So, yeah, I think they're likely to get filled here, but not necessarily have to get filled. That's basically my opinion about CME gaps. And of course, yeah, you can clearly see it. History is proving itself. That's definitely what has been happening in the past. Elon tweeted, not so good for the future. Oh, wait, let me see. What did Elon tweet it? I actually have no clue what he tweeted about. So 17 minutes ago, he tweeted, Los Angeles is fortunate to have someone like Rick Caruso running for mayor. He's awesome. I actually have no clue who this guy is. I mean, I'm very bad with politics in the US. Let me see. He's an American billionaire businessman. He is the founder and chief executive of Caruso. I have no clue who this guy is. He's running for being a mayor. So pretty cool. He's awesome, apparently. It is rare for me to endorse politics. Yeah, I mean, he's talking a lot about politics. Okay, so probably he's going to win because Elon is supporting him. So, yeah. All I hear is bearish news every single day. The previous tweet. Oh, let me quickly check up on the previous tweet, Monday Green. So, indeed, previous tweet is not so... Yeah, I see it. It's rare to endorse political candidates. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to really talk about politics on the stream. I don't really think it's relevant, to be honest. And I don't really like to discuss politics on the stream. But yeah, Elon, of course, definitely fooling everyone. And yeah, he's clearly giving his thoughts, what he thinks about it, right? He's clearly talking about his own opinion right now in the market. So yeah, that's pretty interesting too. That's pretty rare also to see here, right? All I hear is bearish news every day. I don't really think that's true. I mean, actually, there are many extreme bearish articles out there, and that is also clearly what always happens in these big market lows here. I mean, there have been, yesterday there has been some bearish news here, earlier today as well. Let me quickly search that up here. The bad news basically came from New York that they passed a bill to crack down all the Bitcoin mining, and here's everything what's in it. It's basically that the lawmakers in New York just passed a bill to ban Bitcoin mining operations that are based on carbon-based power sources, so no proof of stake, or if you're doing proof of work on, let's say, solar panels or so, it doesn't care. The measure now heads towards the desk of the governor, Katie Hochul, I don't know how to pronounce her name, who could sign it into the law or veto it. So yeah, it could be, of course, potential true that it is going to get rejected or whatsoever. So nothing is decided yet here, but of course it's already bad that the bill got passed. So yeah, there's definitely some fear across the markets right now here. So let's see how it's going to be playing out. Let me see. Japan currently passes a bill to limit stablecoin issuance to the banks and trusted companies. The Japanese government is rushing to enforce new stablecoin laws in the aftermath of the Terra collapse. So yeah, of course, because of Terra, we're seeing a lot of attention, and also the reason why Bitcoin is not really recovering is due to all this stablecoin FUD we currently are having in this market, right? So a lot of stablecoin FUD we have due to many big companies and many people are, of course, losing their faith in those stable coins. So pretty interesting to see that Japan is moving forward with legalization regarding the issuance of stable coins. That basically. So yeah, pretty interesting. Of course, there's a lot of stable coin FUD still there in the market. Vitalik shows support for Optimisms. There's also a pretty interesting coin, guys. I don't know if you have read about it. I've invested in it myself. I made a loss on my investment so far on this investment I made. It's Optimism. So first of all, Vitalik shows support for Optimism's government's structure OP gas protocol. So the Ethereum co-founder has often advocated for projects to move away from the coin in voting in DeFi and DeGov. As it basically enables smallholders to have a chance on truly participating in the governments. So basically, the coin what I'm currently talking about is it's OP. Bybit was the first one to launch it, just like Luna 2.0. Bybit also was the first one to launch it. So Bybit is definitely running up the top of the game. So first of all, guys, if you're interested in buying Bitcoin, or trading Bitcoin or spot trading, whatever you want to do here, want to be buying Bitcoin with your fiat, you can do it here on Bybit, and of course in the link description, guys, you can also claim a $4,050 deposit bonus plus 0% fees. Very important. But more importantly, this coin got launched here. I bought it around $4, $3.80, and I also bought it on 80 cents here. Actually, I've been just dollar cost averaging in this coin. I personally think that this coin, and I will be talking about the fundamentals in a second from now on. I think that this coin, Optimism, is going to be so freaking big. I think it's going to be freaking big. And let me quickly go to look at, first of all, the market capitalization. I personally think it's really, that it's the fully diluted 6 billion. And we have to be waiting for the clear market cap to come out here. But I personally think that this is going to be a competitor for the top 30 coins. So it has been not performing that well here so far, but like many altcoins, they have not been performing that well here. But actually, I personally have a very good belief for the long run about this project. So let me go to the site here and let me quickly talk a little bit about this project. So first of all, it's a layer 2 blockchain, and Optimism is a low cost and lightning fast Ethereum layer 2 blockchain. So basically, It is something like Luna, but then better, I should say. It's an open source, secure, permissionless, and decentralized blockchain, layer 2 blockchain. So this is basically what I can say. A competitor of competitor of Luna, but then without that stupid stablecoin and shit, you know. So this is actually a pretty good one. I don't know. I don't feel like making dedicated video about stuff, but like in these streams, I can talk about these coins here. But yeah, Vitalik also talks positively about it. I've heard from many good investors that I have to look at it, and that they told me to do a little bit of an investment in it. So yeah, I bought it already on $4. And guys, if you're interested in like buying altcoins in general already, check out Bybit in the link description. But more importantly, guys, turnover is more than 232 million in the past 24 hours. That's pretty crazy turnover. Only on Bybit already, right? So Bybit really leading that way here on this token. So I personally have a long-term belief in this project. Let's see how it's going to be playing out. But yeah, definitely going to be exciting. This is the perpetual. This is the leverage trade. You can, of course... Yeah, you can just spot buy it over here. Yeah, I spot bought it. I don't have any trades on it or whatsoever. I'm just spot buying because many of these altcoins, guys, yeah, you can trade them, but also just spot buy. I think like right now with altcoins, I'm mainly spot buying and not really trading them because it's very hard to catch good entries on altcoins. Of course, unless you're shorting it. But if you want to be looking for longs, it's very hard right now for altcoins. So that's definitely terrible. S&P and Nasdaq red, indeed. Oh yeah, let me quickly check here. Stock market opening. Stock market opening. US 500. So yeah, the stock market opening in the green, guys. That is absolutely amazing. The stock market open in the green. So you can right away see on the stock market open, we are getting some green here. Of course, the opening is green. Only, of course, the pre-market was extremely red here. So yeah, they're still massively down, like you can see on this chart over here. Like you can see, they're still down approximately 0.9% here right now. The S&P, well, yesterday climbed up over 1.8%. So yeah, we're going to be waiting to see how it's going to be playing out right now. But yeah, definitely. Let's see if we can get the bounce here in the market now. Bitcoin, yeah, the volume really has to kick in right now in this case. Of course, on the 30-minute time frame as well, we can clearly see we are forming on the 30-minute time frame. We confirmed the bullish divergence right now, and on the 1-hour time frame, we have to wait for the confirmation still. Benny Crypto, you're talking about Ethereum. That I mean, I personally think Ethereum is definitely one of the most best buys to go with in this market. Oh, look at that breakout. It was a beautiful breakout, actually. Oh, it was very sexy. So, Ethereum touched 1700 only 3 times before. And that's true. That is definitely true. So, yeah, look at this line, guys. This is pretty interesting. And Benny, thank you for pointing it out to the channel. $1,700 US got touched not that many times here for Ethereum. We touched it once here in the 22nd of June. Never touched it afterwards again. That was basically the summer low for Ethereum. Then we touched it. Even, I don't really think, yeah, we just didn't touch it, that 1700 here, back on 12th of May. Then here on the 27th of May, we also just not touched it, just about not touching it. And right now we're once again very close with Ethereum touching that level. So, yeah, Ethereum is definitely underperforming right now today compared to Bitcoin. But once again, on the bigger picture, Ethereum is just holding up towards that range very well so far. So as long as we're holding up towards the $1,700 US, we're going to be looking pretty alright, if you would ask me. Is being a diamond hand mistakes in bear markets? No, I don't think so. Because in bear markets, it's time to be buying and just hold on. It's not. It would not make a lot of sense for me to weak hand right now to sell my tokens, because you're standing literally the lows. But yeah, Benny Crypto, you're completely right. This is probably one of the most best and fair valuations you could ever get here for one Ethereum. $1,700 US. That's pretty cheap. I mean, I've been loading up. I mean, I've got some certain income I can generate with crypto and with companies I make. As soon I also got a very exciting new company coming up here. And actually, getting paid in crypto every day. So I accumulate dollar cost average every single day in crypto. I accumulate every single day Bitcoin and Ethereum, first of all, and stable coins, because yeah, I have to have a little bit of stable coins to potentially first of all anticipate market movements, but more importantly, I'm also like sometimes with those stable coins I scale into altcoins, and like I told you, I'm only scaling in towards a handful of altcoins right now. S&P flipping red again. Oh, that's pretty terrible. Oh, that's pretty terrible indeed. So, yeah, where world was just pumping towards the upside, it is once again coming down massively. Happy to buy at 1700 and I sell at 3700 and go on a holiday. That's a pretty good holiday you have over there. Actually, I don't really like to spend my money and spend it afterwards on a holiday. Oh, sorry, make money and spend it on holidays. I'd rather make money and make more money from that even. So, that is at least the way how I like to go with it. But yeah, indeed, pretty exciting market open than we are having right here. But yeah, no, a lot of interesting stuff happening. So guys, let me see. I'm still trying to be building up actually some large positions right now on Bitcoin. Like you can see on the 6-hour time frame, we are bouncing from this range, right? It's going to be pretty important to be bouncing from this level right here. If we can get a bounce back here in this range, we're going to be aiming for approximately $3,300. That is going to be the top side target we're going to be aiming for on Bitcoin. So if we successfully bounce from this range on the 6-hour time frame, and we're going to be moving back up here, 33 or 32.8k, or basically just subscribe to the channel to stay up to date about this level, and follow me on YouTube, and of course also on Twitter and Telegram over here. These two, make sure to do so right now. So yeah, guys, I will be right now wrap up the stream. It was not that excited as I was once again expecting here. Markets are recovering a little bit here. Bitcoin, of course, still holding up the support. That is, of course, the most important part of this video. We're seeing Bitcoin bouncing. We're about to confirm a bullish divergence. And it could be leading once again for a very boring price action phase for Bitcoin, where we're just going to consolidate and not do a lot of special things here. So weekend is coming up here. We're probably going to once again see low volatility over the course of the weekend. So if you feel like taking a moment off the charts, this is the weekend to do so. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in towards this new stream on the channel. Like I promised you guys, I will never stop making content. I don't care if the market is boring. I don't care if the market is exciting.